And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 113 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we will happily drink them.
Yes, we will. Also, hansonsonhiatus.com. You can check out the merch store. We got all types of podcast stuff. We got pug stuff, cat stuff, holiday stuff. Do we have some Mother's Day stuff?
Drinking stuff, Mother's Day stuff, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. We have T-shirts and mugs and pillows and phone cases and
tote bags, magnets and stickers, and anything.
Gun holsters.
You could put Tiger's face on any of it.
Yeah. Also, you can become a monthly fucky supporter there at hansonsonhiatus.com. You can be a little fucky for $1 a month. You can be a medium fucky for $5 a month. Or you can be a big old fucky for $10 a month.
We love all our fuckies.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate you. If you appreciate the stories and the information, you want to keep the podcast running, we greatly appreciate any help you can be. We wanted to thank some of our fuckies: Sydney, Luis, Manny, Spandex Thor, Brian P, Antonio, Chrissy, Christina, Stephanie, Kimberly, and Tom. Are just some of them, but we love all of our fuckies.
List is getting longer.
It is. And as usual, like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We be there.
We be everywhere.
We're there.
A couple comments from last episode I wanted to get to. Let's see. Christina said if you name your pug Enrique, you can call him Ricky for short.
That is so cute.
Which is great because we were talking about your brother Eric, and I thought it'd feel weird to call our pug the same name as your brother.
Yeah.
But their cat is named Ricky.
Yes, Ricky Bobby, in fact.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby.
He's the coolest big black cat in the world.
Yeah.
He's like a dog.
And Christina also says we are probably going to destroy ourselves and this planet before robots AI takes over. I might agree with you there.
I agree with you, Christina.
It's getting a little sketch. I don't know how do we get out of it. We can't go back.
It's just getting hotter.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't
hotter.
know.
It's getting crazier.
Yeah.
AI is getting better. Nobody's going to be able to believe anything anymore. There will be no real news. We won't know what's going on. So I agree with that. That could be in our lifetime, unfortunately.
I know. So
We've grown up in this crazy lifetime, or we're all alive in this crazy lifetime where we've seen no technology to like shitty technology to pretty good technology, and then we're touching into like super scary, crazy technology.
Crazy technology.
Yeah.
It freaks me out.
Yeah. And then Tata said, oh man, no way you can't have people over at the house that you're watching, which, yeah, you're probably right. Luckily, the first couple we had over are friends of the people's house that we were watching.
Oh, yeah.
So they're probably cool with them. Our other friends, I think I've met them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you are right. We probably should not have them over. We went to the pool. They did come in the backyard and smoke a joint. So hopefully they are okay with that.
The friend's house that we're watching, she's very cool. I think she'd be okay with it. And we told her.
Yes. Yeah.
But I love Christina's note too. I think it's fine to have romantical time in a guest bed.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I missed that part. Romantical time. I love it. We should start calling it that now.
Yeah. Romantical times.
I
think
love
everyone says like sexy time.
Yeah. But also appreciate the comments. Anybody else, if you have a comment on this episode, you want to be read on the following episode, leave a comment below, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or wherever else, and we will do our best to get to them.
We check them all, even Instagram, wherever. We check them all.
That's right. So let's get to our trip that we went on this past weekend. We did a little... it's not like a staycation. I mean, we went to another state, basically. So it's like us going from like Georgia to Alabama or Florida or something like that,
Yeah.
But we went to Merida for, I don't know how long. We left on Friday and then we got back on Monday. So basically a long weekend.
Yeah.
So we went back to Merida and Progresso for the pug walk and the pier walk, which we'll get to throughout the episode.
Double walks.
But so I bought the bus tickets to Merida, and it was like 4-hour trip.
Yeah.
So it's the next state over, 4-hour trip. It's actually in a different time zone.
Yeah.
When we go there, even though it's only 4 hours away, because right now we're technically on Central Time Zone. Mm-hmm. They're on Mountain Time Zone.
Right.
Actually, even though I feel like they're basically just below like Louisiana, kind of, right?
Yeah, I don't understand how Mexico splits it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
When I was working there, from there, I kept messing up. My boss was like, "You're an hour behind." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
It's like,
Keep
I
forgetting.
forgot. Let's see. Yeah. So we bought I bought the bus tickets. They're like $30 each. And then we were looking at the ticket and we're like, shit, this one, there's two buses. One leaves an hour later, but it gets there 30 minutes ahead of time. The one that we bought left an hour earlier, like 7:45 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
And it got there after the following bus because we didn't realize that it stops in Tulum and Valladolid and different cities, and we wanted
like,
the
oh,
direct
no.
route. So we had to go to the bus station, change our tickets, which is always a fucking hassle. For some reason, I bought them online. You can't change them online. And then you don't get any of the discount price. So I lost my discount, the price that I got. So that kind of sucked.
They don't let you cancel them, swap them, nothing.
No, they're very strict about the bus tickets, apparently.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's a bus.
So we switched them to the next one. We were leaving originally at 7:45, and then what was the next one? Like 8:27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8:47.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we were walking to the bus station and thinking it was at 8:47. And we're a few minutes away, and I looked down, and I was like, I wonder what time the bus is, because I was like, is it 8:45 or is it 8:47?
They're always weird times. It's never on a normal.
Yeah, it's just like a flight. You're like, oh, your flight's at 9:27.
True.
Whatever. I looked down, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's at 8:27.
Oh my god!
And right, wasn't that what time it was?
Yes.
Yeah, 8:27, and it was like, what was it? 8:24 or something. Like it left in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're just fucking booking it. We're like maybe 3-4 blocks away. We get there just in the nick of time. We make it on the bus.
So sweaty.
I would have been so mad if we missed it and then had to pay again to switch the ticket to later.
It is so hard to run with your backpack full of shit. You were just running ahead of me. I'm like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going without me. Make them stop. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. So we made the bus.
We did.
We got there.
Good
and
thing
then
they're always a little late.
yeah, they're always like maybe a couple minutes,
Couple
but
minutes, no.
they never leave early, thank God.
No.
But we've left on time before, so
Yes.
I was a little
Get
afraid.
nervous.
Yeah, so we get into Merida, and this was just a day we're just gonna fucking hang out and not do much. Merida is the capital of the state of Yucatan. So we get in there, and none of the breweries open until like 5:00.
So weird.
Most cities in Mexico, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think Guadalajara had a couple that opened earlier. Actually, no, Mexico City had some that opened at like noon or 1 or something.
Right.
But so one of the only beer places I knew that opened somewhat early, which was at noon, was La Beer House.
Yes.
Yeah, house.
Beer house.
So it is a German beer bar in Mexico.
Yes.
And they actually have a good variety of beer.
They do.
They have a ton, obviously German, Belgian, different beers from around Mexico, and then some kind of national beers. So like they got like my favorite Victoria.
Yes.
They have that on sale for like 29 pesos or 23 pesos.
Yeah.
23, I think.
23 for
So it's like
happy
a
hour.
$1.15 or something.
Amazing.
So I do my beer chug there, and it's fucking hot in Merida.
Hot as shit.
Yeah, it was like 105 degrees. I think I have like a burn on my butt from sitting on the patio
Oh my
furniture
God.
outside there in the sun. It was
There's-
so hot.
There's like they don't have the ocean breeze. you
Yeah,
know?
because if you look up where it's at, it's like in the jungle. Like it's
Yeah.
in the fucking Mayan jungle, basically.
It's steamy there.
But it's a huge city. It's like over a million people. So
Everyone wears jeans all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I don't know how that
I'm
happens.
always like, take your jeans off. It's
I'm
hot.
like, yeah, I'm like just sweating.
Yes.
And then we, of course, and so we were taking the bus into Merida, but we were going up to Progreso
Yeah.
because we had something we were doing the next day, and we were staying there that night. So we woke up there, and that's on the beach. So it was a little bit cooler with the ocean breeze.
It was much better.
But on the way up there, of course, we got to stop at our favorite Wendy's.
There she is. Love Wendy's.
Yeah. So we get up, we get our spicy chickens, we get our Dave doubles or whatever the fuck they call them. Frosties and the fries. Oh man, it's so good there. They like just fill it. And we're looking for a place to sit, and there was like a couple at this table, but it was like a 4 or 6 person table.
Yeah.
And they go, you can sit by us or you can sit here or whatever. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So we sit down and we start talking to them, and they're from Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just like an elderly couple that had moved to Merida. Well, they moved to Oaxaca first, and then they moved over here. So it was just randomly met some people from Colorado.
They're just doing their thing. I could see them looking at us. He waited a minute to ask us where we were from.
Yeah.
And then I just hear a dad voice. So where are you guys from? And I already knew the conversation was going to go, but they were so nice and sweet. And I think they were sizing us up. Like, how are you here? How do you live here? What do you do? And they were like, we're retired.
Well, they thought we lived in Guadalajara because I told them Playa del Carmen, but they heard that for some reason.
They didn't hear very well.
Yeah. But,
but nice couple.
Yeah, super nice. But so we eat there, and then we get another, and we're taking Ubers and taxis, or it's like DD. It's like kind of like a taxi app kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rideshare app. And it's so cheap. Like I think it was like 45 minutes and it was like $6 to go all the way up to Progresso. The only hotel that was available like in our price range was like $30, which is great.
Yeah.
Block from the beach, right in the middle of town and everything. And we, when I was reading, the only problem though was I was reading the reviews and there was a couple reviews that said that they charged them for the towels. And said that there were stains on him.
Right.
So we wrote in our notes when we're coming up there, and read the reviews. That's one of my main things. Is I always read the reviews. You got to take it with a grain of salt when you're looking at a hotel, because most people that leave reviews are pissed off.
Yeah,
so like
they complain.
And then like we kind of like judge the people when we're reading the reviews. Like when they're they're 1 star. Oh no, this 1-star review. Let's read it. And it is like, there wasn't enough parking, and then the TV wouldn't change without pointing it at the TV or whatever. Like they're always like kind of bullshit. Like, okay, this person's just a fucking Karen.
Yeah,
Karen, I'm gonna take this and throw this review out. But you judge it by how many positive, negative reviews are, especially recently, because some hotels will have bad reviews, but they're from like 3 years ago, and it's like, well, now they have new management or they've refurbished the hotel or whatever. So you got to kind of pay attention to that. But we read a couple in the last few months or last few weeks, actually, that said they were charging them for towels. So we're like, okay, as soon as we get in there, we're taking videos and pictures of the towels before and after. And lo and behold, when we get in there and we unroll the towels, there was a couple little stains on them.
Yep,
which
one of them
was totally fine.
Totally fine. They smelled good. They felt soft. They were definitely clean.
Yeah, but so you went down there and went to the front desk. So this is what we did. She went down to the front. You went down to the front desk and said, "Hey, these are totally fine, but we just want to let you know." Yeah, what'd you say to him?
I said, "Hey, there's some. I just want to let you know there's some spots on these towels. This wasn't from us." And he was more concerned, like, "Oh, do you want new towels?" And I was like, "No, it's obviously clean." He said they were like peroxide stains. So there were stains on the towels, and then they bleached them or put the peroxide on it to get the stains out. They were teeny tiny, and he explained it. He's like, "It's not dirty, but I can get you another towel." And I was like, "Nope, perfectly fine. I will use it. I just want to let you know we did not do this. I know some hotels are picky about their towels and stains." He was like, "We appreciate it. You're totally fine." So I was like, okay.
Okay, that's good. And then when we checked out, we did the same thing. We took pictures and videos before and after. And actually, when we checked out, they said, wait a second here. And they went up to the room and checked our room. So they must have been doing that.
Yeah, I like that. I like
I don't
checking
mind
it
that.
before I leave instead of 3 days later them saying, "Hey, there's a hole in the wall." And I'm like, I didn't do that.
Yeah. So yeah, that worked out good. But so yeah, that's a good little tip for you.
Yes.
If you do read something on the reviews, doesn't mean don't go to that place, because outside of that, hotel was fantastic.
I loved it.
Yeah, and if I didn't read those reviews and that didn't happen at all, I wouldn't have known anything was wrong. But the pool was great, the room was great, they had breakfast, the staff was super friendly. So I don't know, maybe it was different management or something.
I just want my hotel to be clean. That's all I need. Just make sure it's clean. And it was.
It was. Yeah, but we were having breakfast at this place called Crabster's.
New favorite.
I love it. And they're we always see this street dog, and he's always sleeping in the flower bed right by the balcony area. And we were talking, and he was all dirty and stuff, because he's rolling around in the dirt.
Poor guy.
And all the street dogs are always kind of like that.
Yeah.
And we were questioning, why don't the street dogs just go and jump in the ocean? You always see them just kind of like wandering around and doing, whatever.
They're hot.
They're hot and dirty. Like, if I had a street dog, you're lucky enough to live near the fucking water.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking frolicking in the ocean every day.
Yes.
So funny, we were just talking about that. We leave the restaurant, And we walked down to the corner, and out of this alley comes a line of street dogs, like 5 or 6 of them.
6 of them. It was like 3 and then another 3. We're like, where is this parade of puppies going? Let's follow them.
Yeah. So they cross the street. They go over the little balcony, and they're going down the beach. They all go and just jump in the fucking water.
It was like you told them to do that.
Right? Yeah. So they're playing in the water. They're getting out. They're rolling around in the beach sand and the seaweed and everything. Just having the best fucking street puppy time I've ever seen.
They looked so happy.
They did. And then they get out and they're running across the beach, and they all go to this little palapa that's set up for some restaurant or something, and they all sit down at the same one and are just hanging out there.
So cute. Oh my gosh. They're all under the shade just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out with their puppy buddies, and they're just like, Hector, go get us some fucking beef margarita stat. Let's do this.
Beef margaritas, gross. They didn't pay us any attention.
No,
We're
they
like,
didn't care.
Hey.
They're just living their best life.
Yep. They're like, we don't need you.
Yeah. And so also in Progresso, one of the reason we were there, well, one of the reasons, our friend Sydney lives there. That used to be our upstairs neighbor. So we were going to see her again because her and her dog Cheyenne are like,
Our goddaughter.
Yeah, our god dog.
Dogger.
Am I the dog father?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
We just realized
I was like
that.
the dog godfather.
Godfather.
The dog father, like Snoop Dogg.
Yes, Godfather.
So we went to see them, but they have this thing there. And I think we talked about this in another episode, but Progresso is the home of the longest pier in the world. It is 26,000 feet long, or 4.9 miles.
Wow.
And it's used for cruise ships and cargo ships and, all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize how long it was until we were sitting on the beach and watching the trucks go by on the pier. And they just look so tiny. It's like, we're going to walk that?
Yeah. But so you cannot walk on the pier.
Right.
Because there's always like semi trucks and whatever else out there. So you cannot walk on it at all. It's just two lane roads. And so there's one day a year that they had, was it called the Walk to Sunset or something?
Sunset Walk.
Yeah.
Walk to Sunset.
Yeah, something like that. But they allow you to walk on the pier, and they shut it down for the trucks and everything, and they let you go on it, and it was really fucking cool, actually.
It was so cool and so windy.
Yes, it was super windy. It was kind of scary, actually.
It was.
Because it's not made for people, so there's no, like, really balconies. There's some kind of short, what would you call that?
Like an angled ledge type of thing.
Well, it's like those construction things that they put up to like temporarily that look like a barrier, like a little short, but I mean, it's not tall. So they had military like all along this pier.
Oh yeah.
And we walked along it. It was kind of, like we said, it's kind of scary because it was windy. But it was just tons of people, and there was the seabirds coming over. So were they not osprey.
The
frigates.
The frigates.
Yeah, the frigates. But then we look out into the water and we see 2 sea turtles.
Yes,
like
you spotted them.
Yeah, I spotted one of them, and then some other people were looking at a different one, and I was like, oh shit, there's another one. So we saw 2 different sea turtles just swimming.
You're so good at spotting them. They blend in, especially if there's a little sargasso.
Don't mean to brag, but it is kind of part of my job as a turtle tour guide.
Professional turtle spotter.
But yeah, it was really interesting. And we didn't walk the whole 5 miles. I think they let you go like halfway or, a third of the way or something.
We were mentally preparing to walk 5 miles out and 5 miles back. I was like, wow, how are these people going to do this?
Yes.
And they had that boat out with was it a military boat?
Oh yeah, it was like kind of like a Coast Guard type of boat.
Yeah, in case somebody fell in. Anytime anyone kind of over the edge or like looked at the turtles, military would come over and be like, back the fuck up.
Yeah, get out of here.
If you fall, you're done.
Yeah. But it was really cool, and people brought their dogs, and it said you could ride your bike. Ain't no way you're riding your bike out there because there's so many people.
We weren't moving fast.
No.
Yeah,
so that was a really fun time, and we'll have to go do it again next year. And you can also go in the lighthouse, which you don't normally do, but we didn't know that. I thought you could go in the lighthouse anytime. I didn't think it was a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a restriction. Those kind of freaked me out though, how the spiral staircase
really?
Inside.
Oh, that's interesting, because we went into the one in, was it St. Augustine?
Yeah.
And you were fine, and I started getting I was like, I can't, like my legs were like like got weak or something, and I was like, no, I can't go all the way out there. I'm like hugging the inside of the fucking lighthouse.
I remember that day. It was hot anyway, but you were just pouring sweat, which we've done lighthouses before, but for some reason that one was extra twirly.
Yeah, well, it was twirly on the inside, and there was no like
Yeah.
middle or balcony or anything, so it felt like you could have fallen. And then and then at the top, it's like this thing's built in like the fucking 1800s or something. So the railing was like nothing, and it wasn't up to your chest or anything. So I don't know. Like I guess I don't do well with heights.
I can't believe they let people do that and don't. There was no one there to like count the people. You think you'd be like, okay, 5 go up, 5 come down. They're just like, go ahead, bunch of big fat Americans up there, like, sketching me out.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so we did that. We left Progresso that night because we were staying back in Merida, and so we took I believe a Uber or a DD back. And when we get there, we just went to some bars and some breweries. Just had a good old popped around. And the next morning we were getting ready because we had Pug Fest.
Pug Fest.
Oh, actually, Pug Walk.
Pug Walk. First annual Pug Walk.
First annual Pug Walk for Merida. So we're the weirdos who came with no pugs and took a bus 4 hours to go to this Pug Walk. I don't know. I think it was just a good excuse to like get away for a weekend,
We were looking to get away, and I honestly thought they would have pug adoptions there, or a way to sign up for adoptions or something. I don't know.
Really?
Something. I thought.
I didn't really think that.
Pugs for sale.
Yeah, because we've been to quite a few Pug Fests in Atlanta, and they don't normally have adoptions there. But
they usually do. The one in Atlanta, or the one that travels around, they usually have a section with like ones that you can adopt that they brought from like a shelter. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
I've seen ones with like one eye.
Okay, I think you meant like little like puppies or
no,
something
not
like that.
Puppies.
Gotcha.
Like adopt.
Yeah. Rescues.
Yes.
But so we ahead of time we got some water bowls, like collapsible rubber water bowls, so we could bring them with us. And we brought a thing of water, which we probably should have brought more initially.
Yeah.
And we get to the beginning of the walk, and I think we're a lot of people I saw on the internet were kind of complaining like this month is too hot to do a pug walk, like and we're thinking, okay, well it's at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Yep.
It was pretty hot.
It was hot.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad until we got to the very end. So we went on the pug walk. We walked with everybody. It was pretty long. We looked it up. It was 1.1 miles.
Oh my God.
For all these pugs, and bless you. And these are not tiger pugs. Salud.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. These are not tiger pugs. These are like some of them are chunky, out of shape. They don't do much or whatever. They're not adventure pugs like Tiger was.
Even some of the younger puppies too. They were just like, oh my God, I'm giving up. It was a shaded walk.
Yeah, it was. And about halfway through, like at the stoplights and stuff, they would just plop down in the grass. They're like, I'm done, Dad. I'm done.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. But so we get through the walk and we get to the end, and we're like, this will be great. We'll set up our water bowls and stuff. One pug, Bruno, came over and he slurped down the whole fucking bowl.
I know. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry," and we're we're barely communicating with everybody.
Yeah,
and so you went and got like this giant fucking jug of water.
I was like, I need more water. The puggies need more water. I'm going shopping.
Yeah.
So I went to the Pemex real quick and got a jug. I was like, we can all share.
Yeah. So we get to the end, and they're doing like this kind of presentation, and they were doing a costume contest because some of the pugs were in different costumes.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was one that was in this like little car. It was an older pug that couldn't really walk, so they had him like, they're driving around with him into the car.
Was chunky. It was like a pink little convertible.
Yeah. What else? They had one pug with a little straw hat on.
Oh my God.
They had like a bee pug. What was a bug that looked like a bee?
Yeah.
Trying to think. What else did they have?
The other one was the house from Up, the Pixar movie.
Yeah.
It was a house with balloons attached to him, and then his owner, I guess, the little son, had like the costume that the little boy has on.
It looked like him. He was like a little chubby.
Yeah.
I don't. In Up, he's not a Hispanic kid, is he?
I don't know. He kind of looks.
I thought
like
he was
it, though.
Asian.
Yeah.
Like a little chubby Asian kid.
Yeah, he
but
does look
this
like it.
this is a little Hispanic kid, and it looked just like him, like Boy Scout outfit,
Yep.
the little badges and
All the
everything.
pins and
Yeah.
everything. So cute. Oh my gosh.
Captain America. I don't know.
Yep.
Do you say that?
Captain America.
A lot of them with dresses on and
Yeah.
stuff. It's funny when they were sniffing each other's butts. It looks like it's sniffing right up the other one's
Oh,
dress.
yeah. There was one that was a princess, had a little princess crown and the sash on. So cute.
Yeah. But yeah, they were all dying towards the end. And I was
Dying.
just like, drink all the water, puppies. Drink it
it.
all. Yeah.
They
So
did.
it was a little warm, but I think they were all fine.
They were good.
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah,
went home after that.
yeah. So that was fun. And then basically I had the rest of the day to do whatever in Merida. But we were taking this Uber back. It might have been when we were coming back from Progresso.
Yeah.
We're taking this Uber back, and I text you and I go, "This Uber farting up a storm or what?" And you respond, "Right, smells like farts in here. That's why I sprayed my perfume. So rude, no tip."
No tip.
I gave him a tip, but
I was like, oh my God, what stinks in here?
Yeah.
And I was just like,
and you were right behind him too.
right behind him. I'm like, I'm going to spray my perfume and hopefully he'll stop farting. I was like, I know that's rude to spray something in a closed area.
Yeah, that's why I was like looking at you like, why are you spraying that shit in here?
I was like, you stink, man. I think he stopped farting after that. I think he realized, like, oh, they can smell me. Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Yeah, you stink.
Ugh.
And what else? And then also when we get into Merida, there's this like police blockade, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? And we're
Yeah.
waiting, and we get up to the front, and the driver rolls his window down, and he goes.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he was blowing into a machine or anything. They had a breathalyzer,
Yeah.
like a DUI checkpoint, basically.
The cop, it was a handheld breathalyzer, and he literally went, like, blew at it, not in it, And I was like, that's not going to work. And they were like, beep, clear. Do you have better breathalyzers than we do at home?
Yeah,
Because I
apparently.
remember blowing in a breathalyzer before, and I almost blacked out because I had to blow so hard.
Yeah, it's but that was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a DUI checkpoint in Mexico,
Never seen that.
which is a good idea, but
We did ask our friend. She said there's a lot of drinking and driving issues on that strip for some reason.
oh
I
yeah,
don't
probably.
know.
Well, people go up to it's like between Orlando and like Cocoa Beach or Daytona.
Right.
People go to the beach, they drink all day, and then they try to drive back home. So
Right.
at least we didn't have a car. We're in an Uber.
No, I don't drive anymore.
Let's see what else. We can confirm that Mexico does celebrate May the 4th be with you.
They do. They do indeed.
Yeah.
They love Star Wars here.
Because we went into this one beer bar and there was all these characters. What was there? Like Chewie and some.
It was like Boba Fett and the Darth Vader and a couple stormtroopers. Like
Yeah.
as soon as we walked in, they're all just standing there fighting and
Yeah,
doing
they're
weird
like
things.
dancing.
We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they're all drinking beers and dancing. So there are Mexican Star Wars nerds here.
Yes.
And I just thought that was really funny, especially because same thing with 420, they reversed the dates. Or
Yeah.
like, they have the day first and then the month.
Yep.
So there isn't, there is, well, I guess it's Mayo Cuatro.
Yeah.
But like if you're writing it out, it would be
Quattro de Mayo.
4-5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they do it
Yeah.
opposite.
So yeah, I guess it is
4th
still
of
May the
May.
4th.
Yeah.
Or it'd be the 4th of May.
Yes.
The 4th of May be with you.
Yes. May the 4th.
Let's see. The hotel we got for the last night in Sunday night,
You're so excited.
$11.
Boom.
Yes.
I don't know why they were on sale.
All of them that day. I think maybe because it was after, wasn't there like a holiday recently or something?
Yeah.
Was it? Easter, I guess, but there was
Yeah.
something else I thought was going on. I don't know, but we thought for some reason like,
May
oh,
4th. and
yeah,
May 5th.
true. Or and honestly, it's low season.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday night. Most people maybe go back home on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we were staying Sunday night. But yeah, this hotel, it looked beautiful. It was probably maybe a $50 a night hotel anywhere else, but fuck, it was $11 for one night in this really pretty kind of hacienda style hotel. So
It was so cute. I loved it. It was one of the better ones.
yeah, we went swimming there, had a great old time.
They were really nice. Everything was clean and wonderful.
Yeah. So then, while we were killing time to get checked into that hotel, we went on one of the bus tours that we talk about.
We love those.
Yeah, and there's two different companies in Merida, and we went on Tory Bus last time, and this time I don't know what the company is called, but it's
It's a wooden bus.
yeah, it's a little jankier.
It's a little older.
Yeah.
My butt still feels those wooden seats.
Yeah. So we hop on that. Actually, we went to a bar first, started talking to a guy from Texas, but he's Mexican, Texican, And then he moved here or to Merida, and we started talking to him.
I thought he was the Mexican version of my dad.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like my dad.
Yeah.
He sounded like him
Mexi
too.
Manny.
Mexi Manny.
But yeah, he was giving us some advice about different restaurants to eat at and stuff. So it was super nice. But
Really nice guy.
we're like, all right, we're gonna head out. We're gonna go jump on this tour bus, and the tour bus comes right by the bar we were at, and we're like, hey, what's up? You remember? I don't even remember the guy's name.
It is Alex.
Alex,
Yes,
right?
because he said, "Hey, I said, what's your name, Alex? Alex."
Is that Alejandro? Is that
Maybe,
Mexican Alex?
True. People call me Alex here too, so I don't know.
Right.
Anything that starts with ALX, you're Alex.
True. But super cool tour. This was actually better than the last one. It was like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took us everywhere.
It was long. I was like, "Are we done yet?" Jeez.
Yeah.
Done learning.
But it was super interesting because if you're not familiar with Merida, it's an old city, colonial city. There's just massive mansions there, just huge.
The biggest mansions I have ever seen in my life.
A lot of them are kind of abandoned,
Yeah.
or they've been bought by hotels or banks or restaurants, and there's something like it's not like people living in them or something, but.
Right.
But it's just so beautiful, and the tour tells you all about them and the history and everything. So Merida was I don't know if it still is, but it's known as the richest city in Mexico, and that is because the Heineken, I'm saying that right, Heineken,
Heineken? No.
Heineken, or Hennequin, industry, which is it's a type of agave plant, and it was used in industrial uses. So they'd use it to make rope and twine and fabrics and stuff like that.
The fibers.
Yeah, the fibers. So they had this machine that you could like scrape off the fibers. We saw a big machine like that in the mall.
Giant.
Yeah.
They said it was a very lucrative industry until
nylon. Nylon was invented, and that kind of killed it. So there's all these just massive mansions all over Merida, and so it's super cool. The tour tells you all about it. Merida is called the White City because it's all made out of white limestone. So really pretty if you ever get a chance to go there. But some of Merida has, or around it in the Yucatan, has a ton of cenotes. And apparently there's some in town. You just don't know about them because they're like obviously still underground.
Yeah.
But there's some mansions, and they in their backyard, they have this basically like a staircase just going into the ground. And under the house, there is this crystal clear blue water cenote, and there's fish. Like, can you imagine having fucking fish underneath your house?
No.
I mean, swimming around underneath.
It's like a grotto or something. Like your pool's down there, but it's a cenote.
Yeah, but
oh
I mean,
gosh.
and they're from like the late 1800s, early 1900s, where they were built out like that. So like, you're really wealthy if you have one of these mansions, you have a pool and a cenote in your backyard.
I want a cenote in my backyard.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of do, but it's not my yard.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy, actually. It's like,
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody's house is like falling in or something.
Yeah, how does it not like collapse in there? Because those mansions were huge and lots of cement architecture. I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of,
like heavy stuff. Yeah, pillars. A lot of European influence.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really cool city.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we do? Right before, some of the food we ate, we went to this one breakfast place, and you got like the biggest fucking French toast I've ever seen.
I know.
It looked like it was like a cube.
It looked like a slice of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a big square. My friend Charlotte was like, "You have to get this French toast. I dream about it."
Yeah.
It was worth it.
And I didn't want to get too full, so I was like, I just need some meat. So
I just need some meat.
I just need some meat. That's what the guy said to me in New Orleans, actually. He's like, I'm just looking for some meat.
Oh my God, no, the meat guy.
Like, no, not my meat, baby.
Give me your meat. Gross.
So I just got a side order of pork belly. It was a whole fucking plate of pork belly for like $3,
It was
60
a
pesos.
bowl.
Yeah, $3, 60 pesos. It was a ton.
I'm glad we shared.
Yeah.
I'm glad we split everything because I wouldn't have eaten my lunch.
Yeah. And this was so then we go to this brewery. While we're basically killing time. Our bus was back home was at like 3:45. So we go to this brewery at like 1:00. And they had 2-for-1 wings there, so we got 20 wings for like 190 pesos for like $9.
So cheap.
Yeah,
And good beer.
yeah, and really good beer. We were the only ones there,
Yep.
so we're just sitting there charging our phones, whatever. And then we're like, let's get Wendy's again.
One more time.
Yeah, but we didn't have enough time to go there. Actually, we probably did, but we didn't want to. We're like, let's stay at the brewery. We'll just order Uber Eats and have it deliver it to us, and then we can take it on the bus.
Great idea. Smart idea.
Yeah, sounds great. It was
it's not.
yeah, it was not. I mean, it took forever. Like we're like, dude, the time that it was gonna get there, we're like, okay, we got to have the Uber ready to like get to the bus station, which was 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
So we had ordered that, and then we're like getting ready to, we're like, okay, it's a couple minutes away. So we order the Uber. The Uber Eats guy pulls up on his little motorcycle, and I was like, hey, go grab the food, and I'll go, wait for the Uber driver. And you didn't see him.
I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's on a bike over there, or a scooter.
Yeah.
Didn't even see him. So I went up to the Uber driver's there. I went up to the Uber driver.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and I was like, no, he's over here. So I run over to the fucking Uber Eats guy on his motorcycle, grab the food, run back. We jump into the Uber and take off. Our Uber and Uber Eats arrived at the exact same time. Like 2 minutes, and we were getting to the scheduled arrival time was 3 minutes before our bus left.
Oh my God.
So like 2 minutes later, we would have missed our bus.
Yep.
And what would we have done? Would you have left the $30 worth of Wendy's and just rescheduled the bus, or would you have left the Wendy's and gotten on the bus, or rescheduled the bus and got the Wendy's?
I probably would have left the Wendy's.
Yeah.
It's the least amount of money. I'm spending more money with my Uber and the bus, I guess. So I probably would have done that, even though I would have been really sad. I would have told the Uber Eats guy, congratulations, I messed up. Here's your dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it all worked out. We got back just in time to eat our Wendy's. It was not good.
Because we had to
like
reheat
delivered and then reheated 3
Yeah.
or 4 hours later. So we're gonna eat at the restaurant again next time.
Yeah, I was like, I can't let this ruin me.
Yes. All right, time for an Airbnb horror story.
Wow.
I need an intro for this.
Yeah, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like it's evil or
Yeah.
something. We recently had a guy reach out, and he was already booked, reservation confirmed, one person it says, and the property he rented, it's a full home. Some of our properties, you can split the home, and upstairs or downstairs, and like two separate reservations can stay. This home that he was reserving was just the entire home. So already seeing one person, I'm like, did you know this was an entire home?
Right.
It's going to be a lot of space for you. I usually reach out and say, just confirming how many people. Didn't reply to me until like the day before they're arriving. And I confirm the names for security, and he gives me 4 people's names. I'm like, okay, so where did these people come from? So I explain, like we normally explain, hey, most of our properties allow 6 people total, but up to 3 people for the price you're seeing. And then after 3 people, it goes up a little bit per person. It's like not a huge fee, like 250 pesos, I think, a day. It's just to account for the extra utilities and towels.
Yeah, linens. And washing. Yeah, like you said, the towels and the sheets and everything. Yeah, it's
all
like
that stuff.
extra people stuff.
You have to take it into account because you're going to use a lot more shampoo and soaps and whatever with 4 people than 1 person.
Right.
So explain that to him. It was like $100 more, a little less. And he threw a fit.
They were staying for like a week or something.
Yeah. Like I think like 7 days. Yeah. Probably a week.
Those are
So
the same thing.
yeah, I know. Like about 7 days.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So he's like, I don't want to pay that. This is, I understand it was my error for not putting in the right count of people, but you guys should have noticed that right when I booked and alerted me. And I was like, well, I'm alerting you now.
Right. It's called personal responsibility.
Exactly.
Put it in correctly.
I didn't make the reservation, sir.
Yeah.
You made the
and
reservation.
I didn't have your family, sir.
Yes.
You do.
Because some people, we have had random people. It'll be like one business guy, and he'll be like, yeah, the price was good. Didn't realize it was a whole home. I'm booking it. So that has happened before, which is fine. This guy, we go back and forth. I don't want to pay it. I want the original price. And we're like, that's not going to happen. So your 2 options are pay it, or you can cancel, and you're going to lose what you already paid for because he's coming the next day.
Yeah.
Minus the cleaning fee. So we pitched it to him that way. And we're like, if you don't believe us, because he seemed like he thought we were trying to scam him somehow. But we're like, this is on you. So we're like, you can reach out to Airbnb and ask them. Long story long, he reaches out to Airbnb and says, Airbnb says you can either cancel and lose your money, or if you approach us and say, would we cancel mutually, then we'll all just, go about our separate ways. So he came back and said, do you guys want to cancel mutually? And we're like, no, not really. This isn't our fault. And he's like, well, if not, then I will pay the $100. But I expect, he said something almost like threatening. We'll cancel, but, or we won't cancel. We'll stay with you, but it better be a really good stay.
Yeah, it was like, I expect a perfect stay.
Yeah, I expect perfect everything. We're like already that he's going to find.
Yeah, he's setting you up to say, I'm going to complain about something and try to get my money back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So an Airbnb is very, I don't know if they're more pro guest than pro host.
I feel like they're pretty fair.
Yeah.
Like they just take the assessment of whose fault it is or whatever. Sometimes they might side with the guest more. Sometimes they side with you guys if you have the information and evidence to back it up.
Yeah. A lot of the times it's like when you first reach out to Airbnb, you get like the lower level customer service and they don't know what they're talking about. And then you follow back up with a higher level and they're like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that at all. It was, you guys were in the right, he was in the wrong, or whatever.
Right.
That's happened before too. So regardless, we're like, hey, we'll just cancel mutually. We understand you're already upset. We don't think we're going to have a good guest host relationship now because you're being like threatening. So he was like, no problem. So we canceled. He got his refund. We can rebook the home, and hopefully we do. And I don't know. I would have said, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not getting shit back, and you're not staying here. But that wasn't an option.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually, fuck you is not usually an option on the report button.
No. Customer
But
service.
I understand both sides. One side, no, like you got to pay the $100. Like it was your fault. You only put one person in.
Yeah.
And so that used to be a big issue with you guys, people not putting the right amount of people, but Airbnb has fixed it because what it used to do was it would when you search for an Airbnb, it would put one person in.
Right.
And so people would just like be searching around. They'd be like, okay, book it. They wouldn't even look at it. Well, then you would have issues like you guys are having. Then they change. Now they have it. So when you're searching, it has 0 people in and it won't let you continue until you put the number of people.
Right.
So they're putting the wrong number of people either on purpose or, so I don't know if they know that it charges them money. Some probably do. Some probably just are like, oh, well, I'll just put one person in there. But
I would automatically think more people, more money. So let me play around with the app and see, if I put one person versus 6 people, what's the price going to be? Because why would it be the same? You're not flying for the same, if you have 6 people versus one person.
right. But that's how in a hotel, that's how it is. If you have if you get to book a double room, you have 2 people in there, you have 4 people in there, it's the same price. It doesn't matter.
Well, we cover up to 3 people, and then that 4th, 5th, or 6th person, there's a small fee per day.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying average, most people maybe don't know that. But but yeah, I can see, like he should have paid the money, but it's almost, and it sucks that you're, quote unquote out money since, they canceled the booking or whatever.
Right.
But he was looking for something to get you guys on. And I wouldn't want somebody staying in my place that already is spiteful against me because he's going to break something. He's going to steal something. Like you don't know what he's going to do now because he's kind of pissed off at you guys. So you don't want to start off with like somebody on the wrong foot like that anyway. So not worth your trouble, so.
Most guests are like, oh, yeah, we totally understand. That was my bad or my error, because you do have to change it from 0 to 1 person. So he already knew he put the wrong amount of people. And I think he was just trying to be sneaky. I think a lot of Airbnb hosts don't check that, and we do. So I think when most guests are like, oh, yeah, no problem, we get it. Other ones obviously don't.
All right. Now it is time to get high with the Hansons.
I love it. It's my favorite.
I do have a question, like a high question, but there was a couple high things that we were talking about the other day, and I don't know if they still exist or not because I don't do this super often. But I remember being a kid and going to the movies with some friends, and maybe I was thinking about what's that new movie with? Is it just like the Minecraft movie where they say, what do they say? Something chicken, like chicken fucker or something. And then everybody throws all their popcorn.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
It's like a huge trend where they've had to have adults come in
Oh.
and like shut down, like, or not adults, but like people, the people that run the movie theater, they'll pause the movie and they say, if anybody throws anything, you're fucking out of here. We're calling the police or whatever.
Nice.
God, what is it? It's something chicken.
For the new Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
Why did they throw popcorn?
Maybe it's not Minecraft. Jack Black says it.
Oh,
Is he in the
okay,
Minecraft
okay.
movie?
I don't know. Haven't seen it. Don't know about it. But probably. It sounds like a Jack Black movie.
Yeah, it is Minecraft movie.
Okay.
What does he say?
Chicken fuckers. Got some puppies on the loose somewhere here. I haven't seen that yet. I don't know why you would throw popcorn. Popcorn's expensive too. You're just throwing it around the
but
movie
it's
theater.
kids. Like they, what is chicken jockey?
Chicken jockey.
For some, I don't know.
He's a chicken fucker.
Yeah, whatever. Isn't that from like what's the Super Troopers or whatever?
Troopers. Chicken fucker.
Yeah.
That'd be way more fun
But
to say.
I remember as a kid when the movie was going to start, the curtains opened.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Certain theaters,
Do
like
yeah.
the older, fancy theater.
Maybe, but yeah, do they still do that?
don't
I
think
remember
so.
either the curtains opened or the screen came down.
That's what I was gonna say. I remember the screen more than the curtains.
Yeah,
for sure.
but I
You'd
don't-
be like, yay!
I think the last 10 movies I've been to in the last 20 years, I've always been late, like missed the previews and shit.
do.
So I don't really remember what it was. But yeah, I didn't know if they did that anymore. And then this was this high conversation we were having. And then we were talking about other things that aren't kind of around anymore. Like, I mean, not exactly like that, but certain things.
Yeah.
Do you remember at KFC? I don't know if they had this everywhere, but at KFC, their drive-through used to be a spinny box thing, or not a box, but it was like a cylinder, and it was a glass window. And on one side, they had this like pole that came out with like a little black knob to like turn it around.
Yeah.
And on the other side, it was like they had a little change dish where you put your money underneath and
Yeah.
you put the change in
Oh
top.
my god, I do remember that.
Right?
It's like the bank, and they would turn it around, turn it back around. Wasn't it for like safety or something?
Yeah, it must have been, but like for some reason KFC was the only one that had that, I thought. But
They were way above their time.
yeah.
Way ahead of their time.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, they don't have that anymore.
Which you think now you would need it more than back then.
And KFC of all places, you think they'd want that at the 24-hour McDonald's or like fucking late night Taco Bell or something. Like,
Yeah.
who's like harassing the KFC guy? Would you get your chicken wrong? Like,
Oh my
come on.
god. Yes.
Yeah,
If you're mad,
true.
you're mad.
And then the one other thing I was thinking of is that when you would get new shoes, and I haven't got new shoes forever because I've worn sandals for the last 20 years. So
Right. You get new shoes occasionally.
yeah, but I don't go into the store and
Right.
like try them on and stuff. Remember, because I'd always go in, with sandals, and then I'd have to put those little pantyhose socks on that
Gross.
everybody else has used.
Yeah.
But they had that little machine, and I loved it when you were barefoot and you'd get on it, and they would measure your foot.
Oh,
because the thing that would like it was like that metal the metal thing. It had like
What's
black.
it called? It's like
I looked it up. It is a Brannick device.
a Brannick, which what?
Never heard that. But when you'd get on it and they would measure your foot, that one thing that would go along the side of your foot, it's metal, and it would like rub. I don't know, it just rubbed my foot just right. And I was
It
just
rubbed
like,
you the right
"Woo."
way. I always remember being so cold. I put my little feet on there and be like,
Yeah.
like, why don't you know what size shoe I am?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, those are just a couple things that we were talking about in our high conversation of things that don't exist anymore, but we think they do, but we don't. I don't know. Like, I don't know if these things are still around. So anybody wants to leave a comment, please tell us if these things still exist. If there's any of the KFC spinny drive-through things, what happens at movie theaters when the movie starts? Do the curtains still open?
Yeah.
And do they still have the foot thingy?
I'm sure our friends with kids will be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we measure our kids' feet.
Well, I didn't know if that is a thing, or do they have, remember when like certain stores started getting that like Dr. Scholl's thing?
like Walmart
Like,
or
yeah, it was like
whatever.
it was like electronic. You'd stand on it and it would tell you which shoe to buy and like if you were flat footed or not and what
Yeah.
size and everything. Like, is that the new thing now, or is this thing we're talking about, like the little Brannick device?
Yeah.
Is that like the fucking stick and hoop game now?
Yeah, is
Like,
it, like,
do we
obsolete?
sound like super old? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our high getting high with the Hansons for this week. But I did want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
Happy Mother's Day, mommies.
Yes. Make sure if your mom is still around, make sure you give her a call. Tell her you appreciate her. Send her some flowers. I think I'm going to send my mom a pie, maybe.
Ooh, pie.
Yeah.
I sent my mom a box of goodies, a bunch of little things.
Yeah, that's the great thing with, living abroad is like you can just order food delivery or Amazon or whatever. So we don't have to go to the store and buy something and wrap it and all that. You can just, have it shipped.
I would always use Uber Eats for my mom and get her Starbucks in the morning. She's like, I don't need, more crap or more things or whatever. Yeah, she's really hard to shop for, but she would love some Starbucks delivery.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget, support the podcast. Buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy some virtual beers. You can head to hansonsonhiatus.com and you can get some merch. If you guys have any ideas for any kind of merch that you do want,
let me know.
Yeah, let me know. Actually, maybe we should do Getting High with the Hansons shirt.
Yeah,
And
ooh, that'd be fun.
Repurpose maybe some of the 420 designs or do some new ones, maybe.
On it.
So that should be coming up soon. Be a monthly fucky supporter. If you love what we're doing and you want to support the podcast, just a couple bucks a month, we really appreciate it. Like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.